Hello and welcome back to the Survival Horror Guide, a series where we play and then review survival horror games. We rate them on their fear factor, and we give them an overall score. Then finally, we send it over to the series' totally arbitrary rating system, where we see how it stacks up against the rest of the survival horror competition. Today for the show, we are taking a look at the game that launched the careers of countless YouTube stars, and that is Amnesia The Dark Descent.
Fuck!
Yes, it was a game that was a massive hit amongst YouTubers and their audiences back in the big boom of Let's Play channels in the early 2010s, but it is so much more than that. In my opinion, both Amnesia and PT gotta be the two most influential horror games in the last decade. They legitimately earned their reputations and notoriety for being scary as hell.
We're out of here, boys!
Amnesia is a first-person, Lovecraftian horror game with an emphasis on puzzles, storytelling, and avoiding terrifying monsters. There is no combat in this game, which definitely works in its favor because of the sense of helplessness and panic you feel when you're being pursued by the game's monsters. All you can do is run, all you can do is hide. It's an absolute terrible experience in the best possible way. The game has you playing as Daniel, a guy who's woken up in a creepy-ass castle with, of course, amnesia. He has no recollection of who he is or why he's there, but you learn early on that Daniel's amnesia was intentionally self-induced using an amnesia potion. There were things that Daniel did that he wanted himself to forget. His old self did leave him a note, however, urging him to kill Alexander, who was the Baron of Castle Brennenburg, where the entire game takes place. Over the course of the game, you'll read other notes and have these flashback sequences recollecting past events of some really disturbing things that went down at Castle Brennenburg.
Oh god!
Including bizarre experiments, the repeated torture of prisoners, and research into portals to other worlds. The game wears its Lovecraftian influences on its sleeve. And as everything slowly unravels, you'll discover some truly gruesome and messed up stuff. There were legit reasons why Daniel wanted to forget his past. All the while, Alexander's servants roam the castle and will pursue and attack Daniel on sight. They look absolutely disgusting and are scary as hell. Despite their near meme status, they're still terrifying. I think what makes the encounters with these enemies so effectively scary is that they're actually used quite sparingly. They don't throw tons of these guys at you. It's the anticipation, the terrifying ambience, and the tension that leaves you on the edge of your seat, and then when it finally does happen, it's all that much worse.
No!
The game manages to be just as scary when there are no enemies around. The ambience is strong in this one. The subtle music, the audio cues, spooky-ass castle, the dungeons, and then there's the emphasis on darkness. Daniel is actually scared of the dark, which unfortunately for him, Castle Brennenburg is a dark-ass place. And they use this also as a gameplay mechanic. The longer Daniel spends in the dark, he actually goes insane. You basically have two life bars in this game, one for health and one for sanity. On hard mode, you actually can die if your sanity reaches the lowest level. Going insane distorts Daniel's reality. Things get warped. You can hear footsteps of monsters that aren't there. You can even hallucinate monsters entirely. There are scripted sequences that will only trigger if you have low enough sanity. One of my favorites is this painting of Alexander turning into this monstrosity. Just the worst, and it's awesome. One of the earlier sections of the game has the player needing to get through this flooded cellar area where there's this invisible water monster that will make short work of you if it gets close. You need to stand on objects and furniture and throw objects and body parts in order to distract the monster to get by it. It's such a simple yet terrifying premise, and it's so good.
Shit! Fuck! I can't jump on! Fuck!
It's like the real first test that the game presents you. I can only imagine how many people started playing the game only to nope the hell out and uninstall once getting to this section.
Fuck you, bitch! Ah!
And it's not entirely about the scares. The game does have some puzzles as well. Environmental puzzles, physics-based puzzles. I wouldn't say they're the game's strong point, though they're not bad by any means, but When the credits have rolled and you're looking back on your experience, they're definitely not the parts of the game you're going to remember. I first played this game 8 years ago, way back in 2012, and it scared the shit out of me.
Fuck!
And here I am now, 8 years later, a jaded, desensitized old man, and yet it's still scary as hell to me.
Oh no! Oh no!
One thing that surprised me playing it the second time around all these years later was I forgot how good the story was. Despite it pretty much all being told in voiceovers and flashbacks and reading journals, it was interesting enough to keep me engaged the entire time. This game really is the complete package. On the fear factor scale, this game is a 9.5. Amnesia checks every box. It's got ambience, tension, moments of intense panic and pursuit by terrifying enemies, and a story that's gruesome and chilling that effectively got under my skin. This game has a notorious reputation, and it's well deserved. Overall, this game is a 9. It's weird for me to give a game a high score like this, and yet at the same time, I wish I never have to play this game again in my life. Now taking it over to the series' totally arbitrary rating system, Amnesia is going to take over the top spot. And until we start reviewing some of the genre's heavy hitters, I think Amnesia is going to be up there for quite a while. If you guys want to check out my full playthrough of Amnesia The Dark Descent, be sure to check out the Let's Play channel. We've been going pretty hard on there recently, and it's been a ton of fun, so definitely check it out. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Survival Horror Guide. As always, please let me know what you thought about it, and hit that like button if you did enjoy it. Helps this channel out a lot. And if you guys have any requests or recommendations on games you'd like to see covered on this series, please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this one. Peace.